Good day, everyone. Welcome to another lesson. For this video, we are going to learn about the weight and the different body types. So let's proceed. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to first define the different body types, the endomorph, mesomorph, and then the ectomorph. Second, differentiate the body types from each other. Third, define overweight, overfat, and obese. And lastly, value the importance of maintaining a good body figure. Okay, somatotypes. Teacher Alan, what is somatotypes or what are somatotypes? Well, people come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Body type or physique can greatly affect performance in different activities. So basically, somatotype is body type, or body type is also known as somatotype. So when you will hear the word somatotype next time, you will be able to know, or you already know, that it is talking about body types. A performer's somatotype can be measured against the three extreme somatotypes. So there are three extreme somatotypes. First, we have the endomorph. So as you can see, the endomorph, it has lots of body fat. So if you are an endomorph, you can actually uh, figure it out, or you will actually know if you are an endomorph because you are fat. Now, next, mesomorph. So as you can see, a mesomorph really has lots of muscles in his or her body. And the third type is the ectomorph, those body types that are thin. Okay, let's start talking with the endomorph. Extreme endomorphs have the following characteristics. Okay, first, a lot of body fat. The endomorph actually has lots of body fat. So if you have lots of body fat in your body, then you are an endomorph. Next, a lot of fat on the upper arms and thighs. The upper arms and then on your thighs. If you have those fat in your upper arms and thighs, if you have lots of fats in your upper arms and thighs, then you are an endomorph. Next, wide hips and narrow shoulders. Yes, and then fairly slim wrist and ankles. The ankles are slim and the wrists are fairly slim. Okay. Next, we have the mesomorph. Extreme mesomorphs have the following characteristics. First, they have very little body fat. Mesomorph has very little body fat, unlike the endomorph. And they also have a muscular body, those body that has biceps, has that has abs. Okay, next, broad shoulders and narrow hips. So they have broad shoulders and then they have narrow hips. Very broad, very um, malaki yung shoulders. It's wide, no? Yung shoulders. And then their hips are really narrow. It's really thin, a little bit thin because they don't have fats in their body. Okay, next, a large head. Most of the mesomorph has large head. And of course, strong forearms and thighs because mesomorphs actually really had undergone training. Next is ectomorph. What are ectomorphs, Teacher Alan? Extreme ectomorphs have the following characteristics. First, they have very little muscle or body fat. They have very little muscle or body fat. And then they have narrow hips and shoulders. So they have narrow hips, and then small shoulders. It's the opposite of it. It actually has the quality of both. Thin legs and arms, and then a narrow chest and abdomen. They also have thin face and a high forehead. Yung forehead na the airplane can actually land on it. Okay. Which somatotype are you? So you are going to identify which somatotype are you now. All performers are made up of elements of these three extreme somatotypes. Most people have a mixture of mesomorphic, endomorphic, and ectomorphic characteristics. Most of us actually has a mixture of the mesomorphic, endomorphic, and ectomorphic characteristics. A person's somatotype can be graded using a score system. They are given three scores between 1 and 7, according to how well they conform to each of the extreme somatotypes. Basically, 1 is a low score and 7 is a higher score. For example, you are low in endomorph or you are low endomorph, so your score is 1. And then your score in you have high mesomorph and your score is 7. You have the score of 2 for low ectomorph and you have low ectomorph. So the first number is the endomorph, the second number is the mesomorph, and the third number is the ectomorph. Do not be confused with that. So first number will be the endomorph, the second number is the mesomorph, is the score of your mesomorph, and the third number is the score for your ectomorph. So basically, as you can see, we have here low endomorph since its score is 1, high mesomorph because it's the second number is 7, and then low ectomorph because the third number is 2. What would a person with this score look like? What do you think? Does this person look like with this score 1, 7, and then 2? I believe that this person is a mesomorphic person or a person that has a muscular body. So, talking about mesomorph, the mesomorphic shape is the most common body shape among elite performers. Most sports favor the strong muscular limbs and low body fat of the mesomorphic shape. So, mesomorph are the athletic ones. And you can actually play basketball if your body is really big and if you are so thin, if you are an endomorph and if you are an ectomorph. So, basically, the sports like basketball need those bodies or body types that are mesomorph. So as you see in the picture, the mesomorph are athletic, hard body with well-defined muscles, rectangular body shape. They are strong, gains muscle easily, and gains fat more easily than ectomorphs. Okay, somatotypes in sport. Certain somatotypes tend to be found in certain sports. The ideal somatotype for a performer will depend on their sport or event. In some cases, the position that they play in a particular sport might also be important. So there are sports that really requires a particular somatotype. Say for example, in sumo wrestling, you cannot actually join if you are an ectomorph. So the requirement is that you should be an endomorph. And if you play the bodybuilding contest, the weightlifting, your body should be a mesomorph. And if you play um, like the marathon, if you play in the marathon or the 100-meter dash or running, your body should be an ectomorph so that you can run fast. Okay, or a combination of an ectomorph and then an esomorphic. Now, let's proceed. Consider, for example, the various body sizes and shapes in a rugby team. There is a small one, there is a big one in a rugby team. Okay, because the small ones would actually just go through because they cannot be noticed easily because they're small, and the big ones will be the one to really push the team. Altering body shape, we will now talk about how to alter our body shapes. If you are endomorph, what will you do in order for you to become an ectomorph? And if you are an ectomorph, what will you do in order to become a mesomorph? Body type is largely determined by the genes you inherit from your parents. We actually get our body types, most likely, it is inherited from our parents. If our mother is an endomorph, so basically, there is a great chance that we will grow endomorph if our father and mother are both endomorph. So you can actually use now the term endomorph, ectomorph, and mesomorph so that you'll not sound like a bully. So if you wanted to say that your classmate or your friend or your pupil is fat, do not tell you, oh no, you're fat. Just tell them, oh, you're an endomorph. So it doesn't sound like you are a bully if you do that. So it's very important to know these terms. However, you can alter your somatotype by training or by changing your diet. Yes, we can alter that. Eating more or exercising less will increase your body fat, making you more endomorphic. If you have a problem that you are so thin and you wanted to become an endomorph, then the thing that you should do is you eat more and then you exercise less because it will increase your body fat and it will make you become an endomorphic if you have a problem being thin or thin, right? Okay, next. If you wanted to become or if you wanted to have a mesomorphic body, you should do weight training because it will increase your muscle size, making you more mesomorphic. You go to the gym if you wanted to become mesomorphic because we tend to some endomorphic really wanted to become a mesomorphic but they keep on eating. So how will you become mesomorphic if you keep on eating? Okay, so you train more and then have a balanced diet for it to become mesomorphic. Next, eating less or exercising more will decrease your body fat, making you more ectomorphic. So if you are endomorph and then you wanted to become an ectomorph, then basically the thing that you should do is eat less. That is what I am doing right now. Teacher Alan is actually having a diet, and I wanted to become an ectomorph because I am a little bit of an endomorph, so I need to lose more weight. And my weight is not actually ideal for my height because I have taken the BMI, which is in our previous video. If you wanted to check on, or if you wanted to know more about the body mass index, you can check lesson 5 in my YouTube channel. Okay, dramatically changing your body shape is difficult and can be damaging your health. Big changes are hard to maintain. So, if your body now, if you were able to achieve a mesomorphic body, you need to keep on training for you to be able to maintain that because if you eat again, so there's a possibility that you'll go back from being endomorph. Okay, now we will talk about weight. We are done with the different body types. What are again the different body types? We have the endomorph, the mesomorph, and the ectomorph. We will talk now about the weight. Every individual has their own optimum weight, the weight at which they are healthy and able to perform at their best. Your optimum weight depends on a number of factors. First, height. Height in general, the taller you are, the more you should weigh. So the smaller you are, the lesser you should weigh. So if you are really tall, you need to weigh more because it's also a problem. If you are tall, then you weigh less. Your weight is actually really low. Okay, next, sex. Men usually have a higher optimum weight than women of the same height. So if you are 5'1", if you're a girl, then if you're 5'1", and then you are bigger than your friend who is a boy and is also 5'1", then that's a problem because a man should become or should have the higher optimum weight than women. Next, bone structure. Some people have bigger bones and are naturally heavily built without being overweight. So they actually have heavy bones. That's why they weigh really heavy because of their bones. Next, muscle girth, muscle girth. People with big, well developed muscles can weigh a lot without being overweight. Mhm. Since we are already talking about overweight and overweight, so we will now talk about overweight and overfat. A person who is significantly heavier than their optimum weight is classed as overweight. So if you are heavier than your optimum weight or than your normal weight, then you are actually overweight. Being overweight is not necessarily harmful as it is possible for the extra weight to be in the form of muscles. Yes. Being overweight is not necessarily harmful because maybe there is you are overweight because you have lots of muscles. However, if the extra weight is in the form of fat, then the person is classed as overfat. This means that an abnormally large percentage of their body is composed of fat. So there's a difference of overweight and overfat because overweight, you are overweight because basically you have lots of muscles in your body. It's composed of lots of muscles. And then if you have lots of or if your extra weight is composed of fat, then you are over fat. Okay. Now, men are over fat if more than 19% of their body is fat. Okay, men are over fat if more than 19% of their body is fat. Remember that. Now, women are over fat if more than 25% of their body is fat. Please remember that. Always remember that. Being over fat can affect your health, increasing risk of heart disease and other illnesses. So it's very important to really maintain a good body figure because being over fat can affect your heat. So please do not overeat. Or we should actually practice a balanced diet, eating the right food. Remember Pinggang Pinoy, in which um, one fourth of your plate should be uh, grow, and then another one fourth is go, and the half of your plate should be glow. Glow are those it's composed of vegetables, and grow are those protein rich food like meat, fish, eggs, and then the go food are those that gives us carbohydrates that gives us energy for us to be able to use. Now we will talk about obesity. Obese people are people who are extremely overweight. Obesity is very damaging to health as well as heart disease. Obese people run a higher risk of diabetes, varicose veins, menstrual disorders, infertility, skin diseases, liver disorders, cancer, joint problems, and even depression. Very obese people can be classed as morbidly obese, meaning that they are so overweight that it is endangering their life. That is why it is very important for us to have a balanced diet. Okay. Men are obese if more than 25% of their body is fat. Always remember this. Men are obese if more than 25% of their body is fat. And women are obese if more than 30% of their body is fat. I hope that this is a very that this will actually help you. You should look on your BMI so that you'll know if you are overweight, so that you'll know if you are obese. Now, if we have this called obese and overweight, we also have this what we call underweight. Being significantly below your optimum weight can also be bad for you. The body needs some fat reserves. Underweight individuals have a lower resistance to infection and can find it difficult to recover from illness. They may feel constantly tired and bone strength may be deteriorate. Underweight women can have trouble getting pregnant. It is recommended that men should not have less than 5% body fat. And then women should not have less than 10% of body fat. I am hoping that you are getting this. Now, we're talking about body mass index or BMI a while ago. We will have a recap of that. You can actually watch my lesson 5. It's a video that focuses on BMI. Another way of estimating body fat is to calculate an individual's body mass index or BMI. BMI is calculated by dividing the individual's weight in kilograms by their height in meters in squared or height times height. BMI is equal to weight in kilograms. Okay, divide to your height squared or height times height or height multiplied to your height. So a person who weighs 70 kilograms and is 1.70 meters tall has a BMI of, yes, we will know, 24.2 body mass index. A BMI of 19 to 25 is considered healthy. So you should do a BMI test, body mass index test, for you to be able to know if you are healthy. If you have 19 to 25 BMI. Okay. Over 30 is obese. If you are over 30, it's obese. So be very careful. You need to take the BMI test for you to be able to know if you are obese. So what will you know? What will you do if you are obese? Of course, you have to do physical fitness activities for you to be able to lose weight and then eat the balanced and proper diet. That's it for this lesson. Thank you so much. I hope that you like this video. Please subscribe and like my channel for more videos. Thank you so much.